I'm from Tennessee originally. I think I've started every tale I've told by saying I'm originally from Tennessee. And I grew up on a farm. My grandmother and grandfather owned this farm. Good God, I have a migraine, so I'm going to do a lot of squinting. It's been, that's very kind of you, thank you. So when you grow up on a farm, you tend to get used to, now I can see your faces, and that makes it worse. There you go. Not that I don't like you, because you're all beautiful people, and I love the catharsis that this has created. The free therapy has been excellent. So, but it's nerve-wracking. It's been 6 months of puckering my butt shut, because I've been wondering what the fuck I'm going to tell. You can ask every friend I've had. I've been like, finally, my mom told me I need to tell the rat story. So this is what this is. Like I said, when you grow up on a farm, you get used to all kinds of animals. Cows, chickens, pigs, horses. And eventually, most farms have rats, colonies of rats, because there's feed everywhere all the time. But you get used to it, and rats don't bother me. However, there is this breed of rat called wolf rat. If you've ever heard of or seen a wolf rats are very large. Like the RUSs of rats. And if you also know a lot about rats, you know that they can hold their breath for a very long time, and they can swim underwater for a very long time, which is why they tend to enjoy coming up through drains. Segue to the story. I was living with my mom. I had moved home to take care of her because she had been diagnosed with diabetes, and I moved home to Tennessee to take care of her from Atlanta. And I thought of you Terry, whenever I started thinking about this story, because I was a camp counselor. I led Outward Bound excursions for 3 weeks with 15 children on the Appalachian Trail, me and 3 other adults and 15-year-olds. So we played a lot of pranks, but we never chased anybody like a bear or anything. We just, gave them wedgies and hung their underwear up. So I'm home at this point. And when you're not accustomed to pissing in the same place all the time, you will turn the light on when you go to the bathroom. I usually don't do that. So whenever I went into the bathroom at 4 o'clock in the morning this morning, I turned the light on, lifted the lid, went to sit, and looked down and saw a furry, large, gray thing in the toilet. And when your mind processes things, sometimes your mind's going, I see this, I know what this is. And your mind is also going, what the fuck is that? Well, the what the fuck is that side of my brain's like, why is that turd hairy? And the rational side of my brain is, it's a rat! So I go tearing through my mom's house, slam the lid down, tearing through my mom's house, run into her bedroom, jump up on her 4-poster bed, screaming in the middle of the night at 4 o'clock in the morning, it's a rat, it's a rat, it's a rat, it's a rat, it's a rat! And she's, what the fuck are you doing? My mom doesn't swear much. She does when it's appropriate. She's a very appropriate swearer. I swear whenever I can, because it's fun. I'm also a nanny, which makes it really difficult to do my job sometimes. So I'm screaming, jumping up and down, waking the dogs up, waking my mom up. I hit my head on the ceiling fan. And I think that's what made me stop jumping at that point. She's like, calm down, tell me what the hell is wrong with you. I'm like, there's a rat in the toilet. Oh my fucking God. And she's like, well, what did you do? Did you flush it? No, it's this fucking big. It's not going back down. So she's like, all right. She's still sleepy. She's not really processing what's happening. She hasn't seen the rat yet. So she follows me into the bathroom, and she lifts the lid, and the rat tries to jump out. And she promptly drops the lid, hits the rat on the head, and it goes back inside the toilet. And we're all like, So the first thing we think is, we have to call my ex, who lives directly behind my mother's house, just separated by a fence line. He's in the military. He'll know what to do. Well, I don't know why. So we call Jay, and for some reason, all I said was, "Oh my God, it's in the house. You have to come and help us, quick!" And hung up. Not the best thing to say to a military man in 4 o'clock in the morning. So he comes in nothing but combat boots, boxer shorts, a robe, and a gun. And a very large Nigerian man, who is his best friend, Malik. And they both storm into the house and are like, "What's going on?" And they're like looking for this intruder, this perpetrator. And I'm like, "It's in the toilet." "What?" "It's a rat. It's in the toilet. It's a rat. It's a rat. A rat's in the toilet." And Jay's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So at this point, Malik goes and gets back in the car and goes back to bed. And my mom, she's like taking control. She's like, "You guys go and get that box, and we're gonna get it and put it in the box." And she put rat poison and chocolate and peanut butter in the box to lure the rat in the box. We get this box, and we go inside, and we spend about 15 minutes trying to lift the lid so the rat can jump in the box, with Jay holding the box. And every time I went to lift the lid, it would jump, and I'd run. So it would hit its head again, and it would get knocked back in the toilet. So 15 minutes of us fighting this, Three Stooges style kind of fight with this very large rat, who's probably got a concussion at this point. Finally, you can hear my mom outside. She can hear the commentary of me and Jay swearing and carrying on. And she knocks on the door. She's like, "Just get the fuck out of there and let me do it." And I have never heard the word fuck come out of my mom's mouth before. So I'm like, did she just say fuck? And Jay goes, "I'd say fuck too right now." So we open the door, the rat's still in the toilet, and my mom has 2 Shih Tzu dogs who are just tearing the house apart at this point because they know that there's something wrong with me. They know something's in the bathroom and they're not allowed in. So my mom goes inside. I'm trying to corral the dogs while she goes inside. She shuts the door, and you proceed to hear this Looney Tunes style commentary take place. Beating and banging and things crashing and her yelling and the rat squealing. And then the last thing you hear is, "Well, it's either me or you, the rat, and I pay the fucking bills." And then it gets really quiet. And the door bursts open. And she has this very large box that we have loaded with rat poison and chocolate and peanut butter. And it's moving. And she's got her hand over the top, and she's holding the box to herself. And every so often you see this nose pop up through the lid, and she's smacking the fucker on the head every time it pokes its nose through the hole. She's smacking it. My mom's got this big set of cojones at this point. I'm like, "Damn, Mom, go." So, my mom just trapped a very large, 10-pound rat in a box by herself. And I'm like, "Bitch is fierce." So then she's got this box, and she hands it to me. I'm like, "What the fuck?" She goes, "Take it." Now, real quick, my mom lives on a 4-lane boulevard, tree-lined boulevard, across the street, the 12th fairway of the Municipal City Golf Course. "Take it across the street, throw it off the bank." So, take it across the street, throw it across the bank. Why am I going to throw the box across the street onto the fairway? Because I don't want it in my fucking house. Second time I've heard fuck come out of my mom's mouth in a 30-minute period of time. So she hands me this, I've got this box, and it's the rat is throwing itself against the walls of the box trying to get out, and it starts gnawing a hole through the bottom of the box. So we've got seconds till it busts through. Jay holds the door open at this point. I go running across 4 lanes of traffic and a boulevard at 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's starting to kind of get rush hour-y for nobody in Johnson City, Tennessee. It wasn't very busy, but there were enough cars to where I was like Frogger. And I get to the edge of the bank, and I just toss the box, and the box goes wide open. and the rat starts running up the hill. And I'm like, and I run across. I've never been afraid of a rat in my life. I've killed rats, I've chased rats, I've hung them to walls by their tails. It's no big deal for me. Well, that's, it's to serve a purpose, to scare the other rats, But to be chased by an RUS is really intense shit. I now feel Wesley's fear. I know what this is going to be like. I'm getting ready to get gnawed by the shoulder and dragged into, the pit of despair. And so I'm running back across the street. Jay opens the door and he's like, come on! The rat's obviously not chasing me at this point, but I'm convinced it is. Get in the house, I'm like, against the door, and she goes, did you toss it? I'm like, yeah. She goes, I'm going back to bed. And Jay and I just look at each other like, well, that's the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen in my life. But at the same time, we're still really shocked with each other because we haven't really talked much since we'd broken up. And this was really the first time we had kind of seen each other since then. And he was like, well, you gonna go get a drink? It's 5 o'clock in the morning, where are we gonna go to drink? Kitchen. And that was it. My mom went to bed. And so the moral of the story is, if you see a brown furry something in your toilet, you probably should just flush it. Thanks, guys.